No, but yes.
No. Well, I'm recording now.
mm. Wow.
Wowee. Oh my god.
Oh,
Hello, everybody.
wow, we haven't done this in so
We
long.
haven't. It's
It's
been
been,
it's been like a month since we recorded last, right?
yeah, and now so many things have happened.
Oh,
So many things to talk about.
oh my god, way too many things. So many things happening in oh my god, 2020 is just filled to the brim with so much excitement that
Excitement's a
I'm
weird
I'm
word.
I'm wetting my pants, honestly. Like
Did you put your diaper on at least? Because that would save you so much time.
No, not today, unfortunately. So I'm kind of just sitting in like, a puddle. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of What Do the Gays Think? I'm Matt Klubeck. Today with me, I've got the lovely and bodacious Pat. How are you doing, Pat?
I have been described as many things. Bodacious is not one of them. I'm fine. I'm on my second cup of coffee. I'm doing great.
Oh wow, what kind of coffee are you drinking?
It's Dunkin' coffee with Dunkin' coffee creamer.
Oh wow, so much Dunkin'. I had Dunkin' today too, actually.
Did they know your order before you pulled up?
Oh my god, that was so weird. No, I think that Dunkin' actually just asks you for lattes, like regardless when you pull up. They're like, "Can I get you a latte?" I thought they were tailoring it specific to me, but no, they just
They
ask
know
everyone
you.
that.
Oh, well, you thought you were special, and then the world reminded you you're not special.
Honestly, mood. I don't even, I never thought I was special. I'm not a special
I,
human being.
I think you're special. I think all of my friends are special because they know me,
Oh my,
and that's what makes them special.
how modest of you. How modest of you.
Mm,
Oh my god, what does your
mm.
coffee cup say?
Oh, it says Toronto. I got this from my friend when they visited Toronto.
Ah, wow.
Where I'd love to be right now because Canada's doing a lot better than the United
Oh,
States.
probably in terms of COVID. Yeah, totally.
Mm.
Just so everyone knows, we're recording this on December 13th, 2020. So you know where we are. If you're listening to this in the future, you know where we are right now in terms of COVID.
Yes,
Um,
yes, we
we'll get to
do.
that. We'll get to that, actually. But if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that I have put up a new background for us and also a new logo at the top, thanks to our logo designer, the lovely and bodacious Jackie
That's
Vandewater.
yeah. Now Jackie is just bodacious. She is.
So thanks to Jackie for making that lovely logo for us and this background for us to use in this recording. And if you're, listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, you'll probably see that the logo on the podcast title, or something like that.
Hmm.
So Pat, guess what we're going to talk about today?
Everything and anything.
Everything and anything. Actually, before we talk about what we're talking about today, I also did want to say that our podcast now has a Twitter.
Ah,
It's
yes. Yeah.
What do the gays think? But it's the acronym of it. So WDTGT podcast.
Oh, that's gonna
Um,
take a while to get down.
yeah,
Like to get, yeah.
yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll put it up on the screen so that you can see it. It'll also be in the description of the YouTube description and the Spotify description, or wherever you're listening to it on the podcast. Do we have any other social media to promote?
I mean, no, I don't know. YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you're going to Twitter, follow and then comment and if you have any all five of our listeners. If you have any things you want to talk about or things we should talk about, and then obviously if you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, rate it, whatever the mechanism that platform gives you to rate, subscribe, and all that stuff. I hate self promotion. I really do.
Well, we got to do
I
it. If we want people to listen and be educated about all the topics that we talk about and about the LGBT community, then, that's the best way to get our information out there.
yeah, definitely follow the Twitter first because the Twitter will always tell you when there's new episodes and where to find them.
Yes, and we also post, some thirst tweets.
Well,
Um,
okay, wait, this is a joint. We both have this account, and I don't do that. I tweeted so far about Grey's Anatomy, which was not surprising, and I tweeted about another podcast, Psychobabble, and that was it. That was it.
yeah, okay, fine. I only posted one thirst tweet about John Ossoff because John Ossoff is a hunk.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and you know what? Yeah, he's attractive. Yeah. Uh, Sorry, what?
Sorry, what? Sorry, we
What are
got
we talking about?
got distracted a little bit. All right, so
Yeah.
this episode is not going to be as much of an educational one as we're just going to it's been a month since we've recorded, so we're just going to, have a little gab session,
Yes.
gossip girl session and talk about what's been going on recently.
Have you ever seen an episode of Gossip Girl?
I have not seen an episode of Gossip Girl, no.
I have not seen a whole episode, but I've passed by the TV when it's on. It's a travesty.
It's a travesty. Oh no, I hope there's no Gossip Girls fans listening to us.
What's the likelihood? What's the likelihood?
All right, so let's talk about some things that have happened in the last month. Actually, just this past week, this is one topic that I want to talk about. Just this past week, we got a news article that was very bizarre.
Oh, yes.
Very,
Yeah,
very
please.
interesting. It's the aliens one.
Yeah.
um, so just to preface this one, Pat, do you think that aliens exist?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah, I think we'll never run into them because of how vast the universe is. But yeah, the likelihood that there's some sort of other form of life, no matter what form it takes, there's something out there. It's probably just all the way across the universe and we'll never actually run into each other.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, the universe is so expansive and we know so little about it that I think it's statistically improbable for there to not be aliens somewhere in the
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah, they probably just don't look like us.
Yeah, and I mean, scientists keep saying, if we can find water on a planet somewhere, then that's a good way to like foster life. But who knows? There could be aliens out there that don't require water or anything
Listen,
to be life.
listen, you don't. Water is not the basis of life, it's just the basis of our life because in our particular location, from our distance from the sun and our atmosphere, water just happens to be the most conducive. But it could be sulfur, it could be, I don't know, mercury if they're crazy, I don't know. Other environments will be conducive to other forms of life.
Yeah, just how expansive the universe is. I just think there's got to be other aliens out there somewhere. Whether or not
Oh
they're
yeah.
intelligent enough to reach us,
Oh, that's a whole other thing.
yeah, that's an entirely different story. But apparently, according to this news article, though,
Uh,
there are aliens that are smart enough to reach us, and they have an underground like base in Mars where
yeah.
we have American astronauts there and alien representatives, uh, you know, talking to each other underground in Mars.
Because okay, I saw the headline and it was just like former Israeli space advisor says there's aliens. And I'm like, okay, but like where's the evidence? So then I read the whole thing and I was like, what out of like all okay, there has to be so many things that are true for this to occur. There has to be aliens. They have to be intelligent enough to get into outer space. They have to have come here without anyone noticing except for like the upper echelons of our government.
Right.
And they'd have to be smart enough to know that like our society is ruled by a government and know that they have to go to them instead of like the people and they don't want to cause mass hysteria. Like there's just so many things that have to be true for this to be completely true. It just seems very unlikely.
Yeah, and we would have to know how to talk to them too, right? I mean, if we have
Yeah.
this underground Mars base where we're chatting with them for peace, like we have to know how to translate whatever language they speak, even if they do speak a language. Like,
Yeah, it could just be a whole like what's that movie with Amy Adams where she like The Arrival where the aliens come down and she has to get her whiteboard out and start drawing symbols on it
oh my
to see if
god.
she can like communicate with the aliens and they start drawing stuff back at her and then they'd have like a calligraphy lesson. Yeah.
I don't know
That
what movie we're talking about.
well, I haven't seen it to be honest, but I've
Oh,
heard about it. I've heard good things.
well, you have to have seen at least a clip of it if you're talking about it like that.
Yeah, the trailer.
The trailer.
The trailer.
If you ever ask me if I've seen a movie, like 90% of the time, maybe 95% of the time, it's gonna be no, because I'm uncultured.
Well, that is true. You are heavily uncultured.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, but this so right, it assumes that we would have to be able to speak with them,
Yeah.
and it also assumes that we would have to be on Mars as well, because if this underground Mars base is true, we would have to have the technology to be able to get to Mars.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know, like, we've only been to the moon, like, I'm pretty sure only one time, and it was the one time back in the 1960s. Um,
I think, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we haven't been to the moon since then. Um, And if you believe that the moon landing was faked, it's possible we were never there.
Yeah, we weren't. That's a
We were.
fact. Just
No,
honest fact.
who knows? Anyway, so you would have to assume that we have the technology to get there in the first place. So I actually looked at some stuff about how to get to Mars and like what it would take to actually get there.
Right,
Um,
right.
so NASA's been talking about, we might have the technology to get to Mars by like the 2030s based on like how our technology is progressing.
Okay.
We need to be able to get, powerful enough propulsion systems in order to reach Mars, and that they have to be nuclear enabled. So,
Well,
well, yeah. So in order to reduce like the travel time between here and Mars, it's 140 million miles to travel to Mars, in theory.
hmm.
I don't know how orbits work. Like it could be more
Oh,
than that.
right.
It could be less than that at any
Less
given
than that,
point in
yeah.
time. You might have to launch at a specific time in the year to like, minimize the amount of distance to get to Mars. Like I don't know how it works exactly.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so we need to have this nuclear technology, and NASA doesn't believe that we'll get there until the 2030s. So, you know, can the story really be true?
Well, because I thought it was that aliens came here, showed us their rockets, and were like, ours can get us pretty far. Hop on our rocket, and we'll take you to Mars. And what? Why Mars though? Like, did they like? Were they like, okay, we need some place off planet, but the moon is too close, so we gotta go to Mars instead.
Yeah, maybe
And
I was gonna say maybe they would be like, oh, someone could see us in like a telescope if we're on the moon.
but it's
So,
underground. Go to the dark side of the moon and dig under. I don't. Maybe like they don't want to mess with the moon because do you ever have this fear? Oh
okay,
God,
tell me.
do you ever have this fear that uh like the moon is gonna like ever play Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask
I have played, yes,
and the
yes.
moon just falls into Earth?
Has this been causing you nightmares?
Because I'm like, okay, there's like a theory that the moon is actually a chunk of the Earth. Like the Earth used to be bigger, a big asteroid comet hit it, and like a big chunk of it came off and kind of like sphericalized itself
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and chilled out by Earth, and that was the moon. But I'm like, how fragile is the moon? What if it breaks one day? Because
What
like
if it breaks?
so much like our tides are controlled by the moon getting closer and further away, and like orbits are affected by masses in space. So if the moon goes away, does our orbit actually shift? Probably not, given how small it is compared to other celestial bodies.
Hmm.
But I don't like thinking about space stuff because it scares me. So this whole thing of aliens, at first I'm like, this isn't real, but if it's true, it also frightens me.
Oh, really? Are you one of the people who would start like panicking if it was confirmed? Like if Donald Trump said, "Yeah, this is true. Yeah, we met
Well, do I
aliens."
believe him? Do I believe him? That's
Well,
the first
that's
thing.
true, but
Uh, okay. I wouldn't panic. I'd be a little, like excited, like, oh my God, aliens. Like, what do they look like? But just like other things in space, like black holes, supernovas, um, planets smashing into each other. It's all scary because none of it's in our control, and we're just hurtling through an empty vacuum at like millions of miles per hour, and it's frightening.
oh my god, that's true. You're absolutely right. Black holes are pretty scary. Like, what if we just end up, hurtling into a black hole at one point? Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't want to think about it. And of course, I bought a book recently, or I asked for a book recently called like I think it's called like The End of Everything.
Oh god.
And it's about all of these astrophysical phenomenon that would cause the end of the universe. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Oh Jesus, I would not want to read that. That's terrifying. Look, we got our own problems here on Earth. We don't got to think about extraterrestrial problems.
Right, yeah.
Um, I actually read something on this is still space related. I read a cool article that was like, so not all the planets in our solar system are all orbiting the sun.
Mm.
Actually, Jupiter is so massive that the sun and Jupiter are kind of orbiting each other. Um,
Oh.
yeah, it's very interesting because Jupiter is so big, so its gravitational pull is enough to make the sun orbit it kind of as well. So the
Mm.
Jupiter and the sun are both orbiting each other, but it's like very slightly that the sun is
It's like a
orbiting it.
power struggle.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a power struggle.
I don't
Um,
like that.
I thought that was really cool. But yeah, every other planet's just orbiting the sun. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It's more frightening material for my doom scrolling later.
You could look that. I just read that recently. You could look that one up. Anyway, a couple other things on this alien thing.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, let's keep going.
um, right. So I was reading something about it. Like what would happen if aliens showed up. So
Mm,
scientists say that if aliens are ever smart enough to actually like literally show up in person, like they're gonna be too smart that any of our like protocol procedures that we have in place for aliens arriving wouldn't work because if the aliens
right.
are smart enough to be able to actually physically reach us, then there's nothing we could ever do and they could basically do whatever they want.
Probe me.
Bro,
Probe me. Just get it over with and probe
if
me.
they have the technology to be able to reach us, then their technology could probably like do whatever the fuck it wants.
Honestly, I hope they're the just like the Voyagers just looking for life. They're not the colonists. They're not the evil kind. They're just
Right.
the ones chilling out, like, hey, we found life on this planet. All right, gonna go check out other ones now. Goodbye.
Yeah, I hope they would be that cool, but you
Yeah.
never know. They could also be like, just what would you call it? Their own planet was destroyed, and they're looking for a
Oh,
new
right.
planet to
Hmm.
inhabit, and they decide to take
Okay.
over ours. You never know.
Yeah, they're
Anyway,
basically the Christopher Columbus of aliens. They come over, they colonize us, they bring disease,
oh
and
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god, absolutely. Whenever we do space travel, especially to anywhere, like if we were to travel to Mars, for example, this is also what I was reading. If we were to travel to Mars, we have to sterilize the entire spaceship basically, um,
Yeah.
because there's a chance that we could, bring unwanted diseases or bacteria that could infect the other planet and like completely mess up the ecosystem.
Yeah. If only like Christopher Columbus had thought of that before he brought, scarlet fever and I don't know what he brought. He brought a lot of bad
He
stuff.
brought everything. He brought Ebola. He brought
No,
COVID. He...
well, well, I don't think it was COVID.
That was a joke, everybody. Speaking of COVID, let's switch to a different current event, shall we? I actually
Okay.
want to talk about the vaccine because we did an entire episode on vaccines. Um,
Yes, 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 yes.
that was that was not that long ago. That was like a month and a half ago. But that was prior to us knowing that there was one like potentially ready for mass distribution.
Yeah.
Um, which we're at the point now where it seems like this vaccine is coming soon. So I mean I haven't been really keeping up with where it is. I think the FDA just approved emergency use of the vaccine.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Do you know if anyone's like taken it at all, or
Oh,
where do they stand with that?
I know that people in the United Kingdom have already had it.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, I know the first wave in the United Kingdom went out, and then I can't confirm this, but I saw a bunch of people in the United Kingdom. There were news articles about it. They were taking it, and then I saw someone on TikTok who is I think they're a doctor in the United Kingdom, and they're like chronicling their uh, post-vaccine like symptoms. I
Hmm.
only saw a few videos because he had just gotten it. And he said it was like day one after the vaccine, and he hadn't experienced any symptoms yet. He just said he had soreness in his arm from the injection site. But I know that it's out there. I know that the first distribution in the United States should be soon. I'm excited tentatively because I, you don't know. Like I am of the mindset that everyone should take the vaccine, that it is
Right.
safe. But with everything in science, there's like effects you don't think about, and then they happen, and then you have to deal with them.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think
Absolutely.
they'll be life threatening. There is something about allergies and allergic responses where if someone is prone to allergic responses to vaccines, they should not get the vaccine yet. But that's common. Like even if you're getting a different vaccine, you probably wouldn't get that one either. It's not specifically the COVID one, so that your body has these allergic reactions really easily, so you shouldn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I'm excited. I want to get it. I want them to shoot me with it.
Oh, hello.
Well, because 6 feet apart, you get like a gun with a needle, and you just
Oh,
shoot
right. You just
them
go kind of like a
like
tranquilizer
like a
dart.
Yeah, but like a Nerf gun, so it's not like, exploding when it hits me. Nerf should market that like
What? A
like a
vaccine
si
gun?
yeah, vaccine gun 6 feet away. It has those like long tubes. You just put the syringe and the vial in, you just shoot, and then the person just has to go. "Eh."
Oh God, I did not like that visual at all. If I'm gonna get stuck with the needle and I'm gonna be shot with it, I just want it to work when I'm like shot with it. Like I don't want to have to press it
Oh,
myself in order to
right.
get it at that point.
Maybe it could be like EpiPen, like, you just right in the thigh.
Right. Social distancing vaccine distribution. This is how it's gonna work.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited and I want to get it, and I hope it's as effective as they say it is, because I just want this to be over. And those people that are like, I don't want it because I'm gonna get microchipped, or I don't want to get it because it's not like it's not been tested thoroughly. It's been tested pretty thoroughly, especially for such a compressed time period, and it's to the point where I think like we need to do something, because obviously the masks, the social distancing, people aren't vibing with it.
People aren't vibing with it. It's true.
Like if we had done this from the start, we wouldn't have to had rushed this vaccine probably as fast,
Right.
because we
Right.
would have been able to handle it, and there probably still would have been outbreaks and cases, but it would have been much more reduced, and we could have had this vaccine go the normal, several year time frame.
Right.
But
If we,
y'all didn't want to follow it. Y'all wanted to go out to the beach. Y'all wanted to have your house parties. Y'all just thought it was the flu, and here we are.
and here we are. It's still 6 times more likely to kill you than the flu, even though I don't remember the exact statistics. I think it was like the flu is like a 0.1% chance of death,
Yeah,
and then like the COVID is 0.6% or something. So it's still 6 times more likely to kill you than the flu.
and it's more infectious, so it spreads a lot faster than the flu.
Oh my God. I just. I really do want this to be over. I'm excited about the vaccine too because I want this to be over. Like I'm so
Yeah,
tired of how people are politicizing the virus for some reason.
I
Um,
know. Ugh.
and I'm just so tired of the rhetoric. I'm so tired of. I'm just. It's an exhausted topic for me. I'm kind of over it a little bit. Um, it's still dangerous,
Yeah.
obviously, and I still think that people need to be careful, and I think that people need to be wearing their masks and social distancing, because it's still here and it's thriving and it's raging on, and you know, I can't wait for this vaccine, honestly.
Well, because like I was talking to my mom, who's a nurse, and she even said, she's like, I'm exhausted. Like every day I deal with it. She's like, I want to go one day without using the word COVID, but I can't because it's everywhere. And I'm like, I get you. I don't like it either. And it's probably worse for her because she's like dealing with it
Oh my
literally in like, in patient nurse doctor relations.
Oh
So,
my God, yeah. I have a oh God, I have a
ugh,
nurse. I have a nurse friend who I was just talking to the other day, and they were saying you sent me all those tweets about how New Jersey is like doing really bad, basically.
I was doom scrolling. I couldn't fall asleep, and I saw this man tweeting about New Jersey and how terrible it is, and I was like, I didn't need to
I
know.
didn't need to know.
I didn't need to know.
No, but apparently, this one nurse friend that I have, like the hospitals in New Jersey are being overwhelmed like a lot. New Jersey's a very densely populated state, so obviously it's a little bit harder, I guess, to contain a spread like COVID. So the hospitals are being overwhelmed. She told me that a 33-year-old patient died of COVID the other day, and I was like, that's very sad.
Yeah,
And this person like wasn't in a high risk group, so
yeah.
it was very sad to hear about that. And I was like, well, maybe if we wore our masks, like this wasn't. Maybe if we didn't go hang out with everyone on Thanksgiving, this
Oh
wouldn't be a thing.
God. Like so, this was so. I don't want to say it was easy to avoid, because for some people it's not easy to be out of work or to social distance because of their line of work. But just on the day-to-day stuff, it was so easy to avoid this. It was so easy to just wear a mask and not see people. Like I like doing that anyway. I mean,
Mood.
the mask thing, I mean, I'm not used to that, but like it was fine. The whole not seeing people thing, I was like, my God, it's like a reward. Like
Introvert moods. Introvert moods.
I was so excited, and I was thankful enough that I was, my job doesn't, I can take time off of it and it not be a big thing. I know some people like doctors and nurses obviously can't, so for them it really sucks, but you could have supported them by doing the right things at home and lessening their workload.
Oh my God. People are so concerned about how this is affecting their own lives and not how it's affecting other people's lives.
I
And that's why they're
know.
like, our family can make our choices. Like, if it's my family's decision to, go out and do this big concert thing, then that's my family's decisions. I'm putting my family at risk. And it's like, no, you're not putting your own family at risk. You're putting everyone else around you at risk too. So,
Like I see some suspect behavior
sus.
I had from family members, and I'm just like,
Hmm?
y'all playing the fool. Y'all looking like a fool out there. And
uh,
I
All right, let's get off this topic because I have other things that I want to discuss besides the COVID-19 vaccine. Although I did
thank
want to
you.
ask you if the pandemic is declared over. Let's say people are saying maybe May next year.
Yeah.
Enough people have had the vaccine. Once the pandemic is declared over, what's the
Mhm.
first thing you're gonna do?
Yo. Actually, what's the first thing I'm gonna do? Well, I love going to the movies. Unfortunately, the movie theater business is fucked right now.
Oh
But
yeah.
if movie theater chains open again, I'll on a weekend, I'll just see movies all day. I'll just spend the whole day there seeing movies back to, even if they're like old movies that they're just showing to get revenue, I'll just do that all day. And then the second thing I'll do is at night, I'll go to a club
Oh my god.
and I'll listen to all the music that I wanted to listen to at clubs, but couldn't
Oh my
because
god.
of
That
COVID.
was probably gonna be my answer. I was gonna say I'll go to the club.
Yeah. Oh, I miss it. I miss it so much.
That was gonna be my answer. I just realized that it looks even darker on my camera right now. Like, I'm not sure what happened to it. If anyone's watching on YouTube, you'll see that my camera is very dark right now.
Well, what cardinal direction are you facing? Like that's this room, is it like is it like a south, north, west, east facing room?
I don't really know. I probably should just open my blinds and get some light in here. It's fine. If anyone's watching on YouTube, you'll deal with the darkness until the next episode, I suppose.
Oh wow.
All right, let's move on to our next topic here. So I
Yes.
mentioned this earlier in the episode, but today is December 13th, 2020. So tomorrow the electoral college votes for the next president, December 14th, Monday, December 14th, 2020. So as we all know, we've been doing this for the last month. Trump's legal litigations against the election have just basically ended in failures across the board, um,
Yeah.
including this new Texas Supreme Court challenge in which Texas's attorney general, as well as, like, I don't know, 13 14 other states, red states, joined in the litigation to try to get this case to the Supreme Court. That was blocked as well, and the Supreme Court refused to take on that challenge. So people are saying, election experts are saying that Trump is at the end of his legal road here, and the Electoral College votes tomorrow. By the time this comes out, the Electoral College probably would have already voted.
Right.
But here's my question to you: do you think that the Republicans and conservatives will concede that Biden won the election after the Electoral College votes tomorrow?
Uh I think most I think I think most like stereotypical Republicans will.
Mm-hmm.
Um or at least a good portion of them. Or because the radicalized Republicans are like the Trump specific Republicans, because there's all those Republicans that are trying to distance themselves from Trumpism. I think the radicals will say no, this is still fraudulent, and they'll just keep complaining. They'll complain all 4 years that Biden and Kamala are doing their first term together. Uh, but I think most of like the stereotypical standard, we are the real Republican Party, whatever, those people will kind of accept it. They'll begrudgingly, but they'll accept it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think at some point everyone has to kind of accept it, and I think specifically the political, Republicans that are in the House and that are in the Senate, probably most
Yeah.
of them will, concede that Biden won and kind of acknowledge it tomorrow when the Electoral College votes. When this episode comes out, I suppose most people listening will know whether or not that happened.
Yeah.
But I think, like, definitely the radical conservative, just generic public probably still won't like it.
No, 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 they won't. No.
And yeah, they might not acknowledge it. Um, and like potentially Trump still also won't concede, and I don't think he ever will, honestly, at this point. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that most people will start acknowledging it come tomorrow, and I think we can finally put this whole election season to bed because it's been a while. It's been what a month and a half at this point for this election season,
Yeah.
and we're all kind of still on the edge of our seats waiting for this electoral college vote to happen. I think once that happens, it'll be over and done with, and we can stop dealing with it.
2020 is really like just gripping on to all these plot lines. It's like I'm not letting go.
I'm not letting go. Don't let
I
me.
don't. All of them. The COVID, aliens, election, vaccines. Everything's just being held on to the bitter end.
Oh, 2020. Whoever's writing the 2020 plot line, they've been watching too much drama. They've been watching.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, they've
They're
been
watching
watching
too
too
much
many
Grey's Anatomy.
soap
They were
operas. Too
like,
many.
I'm gonna take the plot line from every season and I'm gonna put it in one season and have them suffer through it.
um. Yeah. So that's another thing that I just wanted to mention the fact that it's happening tomorrow. Let's move
Yes.
away from some of this stuff and talk about some other cool things that are going on.
Mm.
I just like looked at some current events that have been happening. Interestingly, a couple of days ago, the European Council agreed. They kind of voted to lower their greenhouse gas emissions in the European Union by 55% by 2030.
Oh, I thought you were gonna bring up the whole burger thing, but I guess we could talk about that later.
Burger thing? What burger thing?
Apparently, I don't know who decided this, but recently or something, I don't know, I read this very briefly. In Europe, veggie burgers can now be marketed as burgers.
Oh, oh okay.
That was it. That was it. But no, that greenhouse gas thing, that's the emissions thing, that's nice. I like that.
That's the more important time. Wait,
That
which one
is.
is more important?
Depends how you like your burgers. If you are a very staunch believer that burger is meat, then you don't like this. But if you just want burger to be a patty between two buns, then you should be fine with this.
Oh, right, right, right. Well, if we consider a burger to be, um, some sort of slab between two buns, don't make fun of. It could be. You could call a lot of things a burger. You could call like a
Oh
chicken
no.
sandwich a burger. You could call. What are you laughing at?
That's it. Mm.
Anyway, so the European Council agreed to lower the EU's gas emissions by 55% by
Yes.
2030,
I
uh,
love that. That's good.
compared to their 1990 numbers. So that's
Great.
pretty amazing right there.
Yeah.
U.S., come on, we gotta catch up there.
You know we're not.
Yeah, we just did a climate change episode. So if you're listening to this and you haven't listened to the climate change episode, give that one a listen. We talk a lot about how the world is dying and we need to do something about it.
Yeah, that it did get very depressing. Depressing.
Depressing a little bit. But yeah, go give that one a listen. So yeah, that was good of the European Union. Like, good on them, honestly.
Yeah.
Another cool thing that I saw on December 10th, the country of Bhutan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Bhutan, Bhutan, maybe. It's an Asian country.
Sure. Okay.
Um,
Oh, Bhutan.
Bhutan, is that it? Bhutan.
I think it's Bhutan.
Okay, well, someone can correct me in the comments if they want on the YouTube video on how it's pronounced. But that country's parliament just passed a bill decriminalizing homosexuality. Um,
We love to see it.
yeah, we love to hear it.
Um,
Although it needs to be
um,
approved by the king to become law.
that's what happens when you have a monarchy, I guess.
I suppose so. I mean, it would the same kind of thing happens here. Like it would need to be signed by the president, right, to become law.
Oh my God, is this the king of Bhutan?
Oh God,
Oh,
what?
is he attractive?
What?
Oh, I hope he's not homophobic because I don't want to be attracted to a homophobic man. So,
Well, I mean, in Bhutan, it's currently illegal to be homosexual, so
so he's probably homophobic.
he might be. Although that I don't know how long he's been king or whatever. He still needs to approve the law, so we'll see if he's homophobic if he approves it or not.
Oh,
Uh,
he's a handsome guy. I hope he's the. Oh, watch, he's done like 8 atrocities, and I'm just saying.
wow, the king of Bhutan is hot. God.
Okay, no, 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 no. This is this.
Yes.
I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about him, but objectively speaking, he has aesthetically pleasing features. If he's done something horrible, I take it all back, and he's hideous.
All right, everyone, go look up a picture of the King of Bhutan and then comment if you
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Or send us a tweet and say if you agree or not about the King of Bhutan's attractiveness. Um, so they Bhutan is one of 72 countries that still criminalizes LGBT people.
Right.
So if this law passes, it'll be 71.
Oh, great. We want to get that to zero.
We do want
We
to get that
want
to zero.
we want to get it to carbon zero by 2021.
Net zero homophobia by
Yes.
2030.
Yes, please. Please, please.
um,
Hmm.
yeah, I was looking at a map of all the countries that still criminalize LGBT people after reading this current event because I was curious. It's a lot. It's a lot of like African and Asian countries and the Middle East. Still,
Yeah. You know why that is?
why is that?
Okay, this is not substantiated by a lot of facts. This is just this is hearsay.
Seriously, okay.
I've heard that, before colonizers came along with religion, a lot of these places didn't even care about things like homosexuality or bisexuality, or like, differences in sexuality or gender expressions.
Right.
It's only when colonizers brought institutionalized religion that said these things are bad, and kind of dug that into their society, that it became a problem. So prior to, a lot of these places were fine with it and actually in some cultures celebrated it, but then you know what happens when
GG.
religion gets involved.
No,
But that's hearsay.
that's hearsay. No, I think I read that somewhere too. We don't have any. We haven't actually done enough research to back up those claims.
Yeah.
But I have read that somewhere as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting though. Good on Bhutan's parliament, honestly. Like good on them.
Yeah.
Hopefully all these other countries will take from their example.
Yes.
Some of the countries there still surprised me, like Indonesia and Malaysia. Those countries still criminalize LGBT people.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know why that surprised me. I thought I don't really know anything about those countries. So, but
I was surprised, yet I knew nothing, so I don't know why I was surprised.
I don't know. I never had painted a bad picture in my head of those countries. So I suppose this does paint a slightly bad picture of those countries in my mind.
Yeah. Yes.
But who knows? Maybe they'll join on the bandwagon, and eventually we can have net zero homophobia by 2030. Who knows?
Iconic. I'd love to see it.
Iconic. All right. So that was one good thing that I saw that happened. Some other recent things that have been happening, in terms of like just some good TV that we've seen in the past month.
Ooh,
Queen's Gambit. Did you watch that?
I did.
How'd you feel about it?
I liked it a lot. I like Anya Taylor-Joy. I think that's like Anya, whatever her name is. I like her a lot.
Is she Beth Harmon?
Yeah. Did you not watch it? Like
I
the
did.
credits. The credits.
I don't know actors' names or actresses' names.
Anyway, I really liked the main character. The one thing I didn't like about the show was that they had her play like a 14-year-old girl
Oh
at
my
one
god.
point when she was young, and then she became like a woman later on in life, obviously. And it's like she looked like a grown-ass woman when she said she was supposed to be 14. And I get they probably didn't want to get like another actress because they made her face more round. They gave her like bangs and stuff. I guess
Right.
that makes you a young woman. I don't know how it works. But besides that, it was great. I loved it.
I did think that was weird. I was like, wait, she's supposed to be 14 there?
Yep.
I thought that was a little weird. They could have gotten another actress. God, Netflix has how much money? They could have gotten
Billions and billions and
billions, and they could have gotten another actress.
Yeah.
It's reignited my interest in playing chess. So that's one thing.
Yeah, I know that.
You're over it, aren't you? I played a few games against Pat and I beat him.
I know the basic rules, obviously. I know how pieces move, but I don't know strategy. I
Right.
just like move. I make fun designs.
Let me paint an abstract art picture with my chessboard.
Oh, I'm in checkmate. Wow, would you look at that?
Would
Oops.
you look at that? Oh no,
Yeah.
I played against my dad, and he beat me like 2 times.
Well, age with age comes wisdom.
With age comes experience. And then I played Anthony. Anthony's one of our
Hmm.
other friends, and I beat him like 4 times.
He's the youngest. He doesn't have as much wisdom.
Oh, baby Anthony. It's true. He's the youngest of our friend group.
I can't wait till he listens to this and realizes you called him baby Anthony.
I call him that even when he's present. So
That's true. That is true, yeah.
I think the show has ignited a lot of people's interest in chess, though. So that's pretty interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
just like a cultural thing that's happening. But yeah, I did really enjoy the show. Some other things. Attack on Titan season 4 started. For all the weebs listening, how do you feel about it, Pat?
You saw the first episode, right?
I did see the first episode.
So
Yes.
spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the show at all, or if they're not caught up to the fourth season. That intro is trash.
Oh, the intro theme song. Yes, it's terrible.
Now, the lyrics are fun, but like it's very trash.
Every theme song since the first season's first
I
half has
know.
been trash.
Like, because they said this season might be broken up into two parts, and I'm hoping the second part gets a different opening, but it probably won't.
Hopefully they return
Um,
to the original opening.
it needs to be hype music.
Yes, it does. Like the
Like,
first season.
I'm so like
Hello.
I was watching it and I was just like, oh, I'm so ready. Like I because it's the last season. I'm ready for that to finish up the arc and go into the manga more. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm falling asleep. I'm tired. I'm tired. This is boring. But then the episode happened and the episode was really enjoyable, except how the Titans looked.
Oh, I they looked the same to me. What do you mean?
They're 3D rendered now as opposed to drawn.
Oh, I see.
And there are a lot of people who like that in anime, and there are certain times in anime where I respect the 3D animation of it all, but I don't like it for the most part. I think it doesn't move the same way. Like it doesn't move as smoothly, it doesn't move as organically as it's drawn because then it matches at least the background it's in. It all looks like it belongs in one space. When everything is drawn and something is 3D rendered in it, it looks out of place. If the whole anime is 3D rendered, then fine, whatever. It all looks like it takes place in the same world. But when the what is it, the Armor Titan and the cart whatever Titans were
The Card
there,
Titan.
uh
We were just talking about this. I was like, if anyone's watched Attack on Titan, you'll know about this. I'm sorry if you
yeah,
don't watch Attack on Titan, then you might not find this part
just skip
interesting.
this portion
Just
of it.
skip
It's
this portion
fine.
of the episode. Skip like a few minutes ahead. Um, but I was talking about the nine superpowered Titans and how the Cart Titan, like if you were to have one of the nine extreme powers of Titans and you ended up with the Cart Titan, like isn't that so sad? Like you could be the
Yeah,
Colossal Titan, you could be the
I know.
Armored Titan, but no.
I'm I'm excited for you because I read the manga and you didn't. And my favorite Titan hasn't even been seen yet.
Oh my god.
And they're gonna because there's still a couple that haven't even been shown out of the nine, and you see the other ones, and it's my favorite one. Because it just looks so nice. It's so pleasing to look at.
Oh, I think I've
Uh,
seen. How many have I seen? I've seen the armored colossal, the female titan,
Cart,
the cart titan, the attack
that's
titan, which would be Aaron's
Beast.
beast. So I've seen 6.
Let me mentally count out the other ones.
Did
Yes, you've only seen
I
six.
count the colossal titan? I think I did.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
still
know the
missing
last.
3.
Well, you know one of them.
Do I?
The founding Titan is considered one of the nine.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I guess
Yes.
there's
So
2 I haven't seen yet.
there's two you haven't seen yet. At least that's what I. Oh God, someone's gonna drag me for not knowing all nine. No, I think that's one of the nine, and then the other two I can. Both of them were actually really neat in my opinion, but one of them is my favorite Titan.
Wow. I'm excited for it. I started watching it when it came out. When the anime came out back in what, 2013, 2014? I don't know, one of those
Oh
years.
yeah, they've been milking this thing for a while.
I know, it's been so long. I feel like when the first season came out, it was years before the second season came out.
Yeah, because they were like, well, we gotta wait.
You gotta wait. It's over. All right. And to top it off, for our current events list, well, has there been any other TV that has been interesting? I only had those two, Attack on Titan and Queen's Gambit, because that's what I've watched. Have you watched anything else recently that's been interesting besides Grey's Anatomy?
You bastard. You bastard. I'm about to say TV. I mean, there's been like the Animaniacs reboot on Hulu is very funny.
Ooh.
Because it's all very self-referential for the 2020s. Yeah, like 2000s, 2020, whatever. And they compare it to the 90s very often. But besides that, um, I don't. Hmm. The Haunting of Bly Manor, I'm watching,
Oh, right, right.
and I have to say, really quick, that I never find any TV show scary. Like those marketed as horror. So
Hmm.
American Horror Story, I don't care. It's never scary.
Right.
It's like grotesque, it's like violent, but it's not horror. It's not frightening.
Hmm.
It's also not good.
Oh,
So
oh.
it's certain seasons, but Ryan Murphy has a tendency to keep his shows running way too long, and I don't like Ryan. Oh God, I don't like Ryan Murphy too much, but that's regardless of the point. He's a fine person, I'm sure, but some of his shows I don't like for several reasons.
Right. Well,
But
I've seen a couple of not a couple of episodes. I've seen a couple seasons of American Horror Story. Like the first three, I think I've seen.
the first one is the best.
The first one was really good. I
Yeah,
enjoyed two and three as well, but I didn't see anything after that.
I think one and two are solid. Three's fine. Oh God, four no, five no, six no, seven definitely not, eight no, and I think what they're at nine now.
Oh, I don't know. Sorry for American Horror Story super fans listening if you're out there.
Listen, the first two seasons are solid. I really did enjoy those, but the rest of it. But anyway, films do great horror because films you can build tension between 2 hours or an hour and a half of film and have a good payoff. Once you have a show trying to build tension, whenever the show ends, the tension is gone. So when you start the next episode, you're no longer afraid. You no longer have that sense of suspense. So
Oh.
there's like no horror aspect of it. There's no scare aspect of it. But
Hmm.
the Haunting series on Netflix does it very well in that every episode they try to build tension within the episode and have some sort of payoff within the episode. So you can still have like a small scare in each episode or like the mystery builds in every episode. So it's much more rewarding to watch that show. So
Oh
the first
yeah.
season, first season's great. First season slaps. First
Splat.
season, there was one scene in the first season that literally scared me, and I was like, a show has never done this to me before. This is groundbreaking.
Not a video game though. We.
Uh, Gross, no.
Oh my god,
Oh.
we've been playing Phasmophobia, which is a horror game. Um,
Mm.
if you haven't played it, you should go and maybe check out some videos on it or something, or buy it yourself. It's pretty funny.
You know what they should do?
Yeah.
Um, they should go to Jackie's Twitch, like and subscribe that, and you can see us play Phasmophobia. That's what they should do.
Oh yes, last night actually Jackie streamed a session of us playing Phasmophobia as well as Among Us. So if you're interested in seeing those streams, I'll put Jackie's Twitch on the screen and also in the video
Yeah.
description.
Yes.
Jackie the Bananas on Twitch. Go ahead and watch that. It's from Jackie's perspective. You get to see her camera and her view. But me and Pat are on the Discord call.
Her reactions. Jeez. When she sees a ghost and her face contorts. I love her to pieces, but her face made such interesting movements.
Oh, I love it. Okay, let's start wrapping this up here. So the last thing I have on here is for current events, personal current events. So
Oh,
this upcoming week, for me at least, I'm
oh
closing on a
yes.
house.
I love it. I love to see it.
Yeah, so the next
Um,
time that we record, possibly in a couple episodes, you might see me in a new location where maybe
well
it won't
lit.
be as dark. Yeah, with proper lighting. Who knows?
Yes, yes, yes. I love it.
um, anything that you want to highlight from your like current events from yourself, Pat?
Uh, I don't have COVID. There was a moment where I thought I might have had COVID, but I don't have COVID.
Right, that's good.
So that's great. But no, I mean, I'm just oh, what am I doing? I wake up in the morning, I look myself in the mirror, I'm like, what am I
What am
doing?
I doing? What an existential question.
No, I mean, I signed up for my next semester classes, and these are the last two classes I'm taking for my degree.
That's good.
Um, and then I just have to write my thesis basically and finish up my stuff, and then I'll be done. But besides that, no, I have nothing going on.
Oh, there we go. All right, that's great though. Last two classes. That's really good.
Yay.
Gonna get that good PhD. Hells yeah. What was that face for?
The only D I'm getting is the PhD.
Oh. And with that, let's go ahead and sign off. So thanks everyone for listening / watching this lovely episode of What Did the Gays Think.
Yes.
I'm Matt Klubeck.
And I'm your newest Nerf gun you got for Christmas that shoots the COVID vaccine at you, Patrick.
Amazing. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you're on YouTube, or give us a rating if you're on any podcast, and also follow us on Twitter.
Yes. WDTGT podcast.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye.